Today, I'm going to be showing you each step you should follow in order to make docking easy. Now, I'm not going to be showing you how to get close encounters since that's fairly basic, but if you need help with that, let me know in the comments and I'll see about making you another video. I'll also add a short recap of each step in the description so you can refer back to that if you need a reminder. The first major thing people forget to do is after you get an encounter that's as close as possible and the ship you want to dock with is set as the target, you need to change the orbital speed indicator to the target setting. This is absolutely vital. Keep in mind that an encounter should be no more than about 5 kilometers of separation. Now that you have a fairly close encounter, go ahead and point your ship's navball at the retrograde marker. Go ahead and time warp until you're fairly close to your encounter. Just keep an eye on it, and once you're about 20 to 30 seconds away, then you want to come out of time warp. And whatever you do, don't go overboard with the time warp, otherwise you'll go whizzing by your target and you'll have to start all over again. But don't worry, everyone's done it at some point. Once you're within about that 20 to 30 second range from your separation, come out of time warp and engage thrusters until your target speed indicator reaches 0. Now that'll mean you're traveling at the exact same speed as the target. After we get that zeroed, from here on out, we're going to be doing things much more slowly. And by slow, I'm talking generally no more than 10 meters a second. Now that our relative velocity is zeroed, point your ship at the target indicator on your navball. It's that purple ring, that dashed ring with a dot in the center. Then thrust so you're going about 5 meters a second. Remember, you don't really want to be going too fast because you can easily crash into the other ship at this point. Once you're going about 5 or so, turn your ship around and point retrogrades. That way you can burn to 0 your velocity once you get close. If you're still a good distance away, you can always time warp if you need to, but remember you have to be careful when doing that. If things start not going right, the best thing to do always is to 0 your velocity. Just point retrograde and burn until it reaches 0. That way you won't be moving away from your target, and you can always just restart and slowly move in. Sometimes you'll have to even do this 3 or 4 times before you can get a good close encounter within 100 meters. At this point, it doesn't even really matter if you're not even remotely close to being lined up with the docking port you eventually want to meet up with. Once you get nice and close, go ahead and 0 your velocity, and everything should look like it's standing still. This is where most people start having problems. What you're going to want to do is right-click the docking port on your own ship and click Control from here. Then click the docking port on the other ship that you want to connect to and set as target. Switch to the other ship and repeat the process. Then on the ship that's going to be stationary, turn it so it's pointing at the target indicator, again the purple circle. Switch back to the ship you're going to be maneuvering and then repeat the process. This means that they'll be pointing at each other. Once that's done, switch into docking mode and slowly start moving in. Make sure to use SAS on both vehicles so that way they don't drift. Keep an eye on your maneuver ball. You're going to want your prograde marker exactly lined up with the target indicator. It's also a good idea to keep your speed always below 1 meter a second. This will give you time to react if you need to and re-zero your velocity. Remember, if you start panicking, just 0 your velocity and then start from there. It can also be a really good idea to change your camera mode to chase. That way you'll be able to see which directions you need to go to line up properly. Keep an eye on your navball. Every now and then you might have to switch back to staging in order to reorient your ship so it's facing the target indicator. Once you're within 10 to 20 meters away, you can sort of start eyeballing it and using your thrusters to line up, whether it be up or down or sideways. That way you can get fairly close to being directly in line. At this point you're pretty much done. Just move forward slowly. Make sure not to go too fast. Generally when you're coming up to finally dock, you don't want to be going any more than half a meter a second. Otherwise you can bounce and stuff. Also, another thing I've learned that's really helpful is right before they connect, turn off SAS. That way the ship you're docking can adjust. A lot of times you're not quite lined up and it can cause all sorts of sway and they'll eventually break apart. I've had that happen a lot. And there you have it. Congratulations on docking your ships. I hope this video's been helpful. I know when I first started out I was having all kinds of trouble and it frustrated me to no end. Eventually it just took lots and lots of trial and error before I figured out how to do it. So hopefully this can cut back on your learning curve. If you have any questions or need help with anything, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you. If you need me to make another video about close encounters or maneuvering or orbital operations or anything, just let me know and I'll be happy to do it. Thanks for watching.